now that the NRL has gone overseas.
I like this one. So the NRL. Okay, so as we're videoing, by the way, the NRL again. Okay, let's just score.
Hold on. You keep talking, and I'll find out how it is.
So the NRL, for you American or non-Australian folk that are watching, is the National Rugby League.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The score at the moment, in the 49th minute, it is Rabbitohs 20, Sea Eagles 12.
Seriously, what's a Rabbitoh?
It's a rabbit.
What does the toe mean?
I'll look.
We'll find out anyway. Keep talking.
Okay, that was unnecessary. Okay, anyway. So look,
Rabbitohs.
Rugby League, pretty big in Australia.
All right, hold on. Just quickly.
What's a toe?
Rabbitoh, Australian term, a person who sells rabbits as food.
Fuck, man. That was not just rabbits.
We were today years old.
Huge, Jack. Russell, do you know that you're perpetuating rabbit killers? Yeah, you look so shocked.
It did not go where I thought it was going to go. Anyway,
look, we got a timeline because I got to watch this Broncos game. So anyway, the NRL wants to make a splash and an expansion into the US market. Good luck. But anyway, so it's a NRL Rugby League. What, top 3? It's a top 3 sport, right?
In Australia.
In Australia, right? Actually, I heard that Rugby League is overtaken AFL as the top watch sport or something like that. So anyway, look, let's look NRL, NFL, and what else? Union, probably.
Union.
No, cricket.
Oh, yeah.
Cricket,
Sure.
AFL.
And rugby league, right?
Yes, rugby league, football. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
NRL's like 4.
So look, they're making a quote and unquote. They want to crack the US market because everyone wants to crack the US market. And how they're doing it, they're holding 2 games the beginning of the season, which starts today, the 3rd of March, in the sporting capital of the world.
Viva Las Vegas!
Viva Las Vegas.
That was my best, what was it? What's his face? Trav K impression.
Okay.
Viva Las Vegas!
Okay, so they happen to think that simply hosting a start. Okay, so this is the like level with me. Like, focus.
I thought that was pretty good.
That was good.
My throat really hurts now.
So the biggest sport so what do you guys reckon are the top 4 most popular sports in the US? You already got number 1.
US.
Yeah, in the US.
So obviously we've got their version of football.
Yeah, NFL, yep.
They got basketball.
Yep.
Baseball.
Yep.
Hockey.
No. Well, according to what I read, but that I would yeah, actually you're right, but no, according to what I saw.
Maybe that's more
what you got?
Canada.
So you got the first 3, right? Yeah. Which makes sense. Football, baseball, basketball. Baseball second, by the way. Makes sense. It's soccer. I'm just going to get to it, which is an interesting one, right? I think hockey is big in Canada.
Yeah.
I didn't really say that.
Canadian.
Anyway, whatever. So look, they're clearly going
Unless soccer's paying somebody to say that because they're like, they're the ones that have recently cracked the market, right?
Anyway. It's football back
Maybe
in
it's
Europe.
Beckham. Maybe it's the Beckham effect. But anyway, and Messi's playing there now too. So probably makes sense. Okay, anyway, let's go back. So they're Let's start that again. They're clearly saying that, look, NFL is not NFL, American football, biggest sport there. What they love about it's a fucking boring game. It lasts for 4 hours. It's the biggest viewed game there. Surely they love the...
Is that technically gridiron when they say that?
Yeah, it is, right? NFL is the league, right?
Yeah.
American football gridiron. But anyway, look, they love the physicality of it. They love grown men in spandex with like helmets on hitting each other, right? So... Q rugby union or rugby league, right? Like it should be a shoe-in fit, and apparently like in the last couple of years when they've had like massive hits there, it's been on American TV, and they marvel about the fact that people don't wear helmets and would purposely put themselves under fire to CTE, but they get paid for it, so it's a decision. Anyway,
that was too quick, but
anyway. So look, Peter V'landys and the boys are sitting popping their cigars and saying, you know what, this makes sense. It makes all the sense in the world. Let's give it a go. Let's launch in Vegas, right?
Yeah.
So look, we don't have the stats in terms of the audience participation and like how big the field, like the stadiums are being filled up, but all intents and purposes, we've been told that it's decent capacity. Although you were saying that
they were saying it's 50K. Somebody on Twitter was saying it's about 40,000 that they're looking at.
To me, 80% is fine, right? But okay, without going to the marketing element, which I know you and I have a bone to pick. I really have a massive bone to pick there. Do you think that NRL, okay, rugby league, Australian rugby
league. Say how
league.
we call it. Yeah.
Australian rugby league can actually make it in US?
No. Nope.
Yeah. Why not? What do you think?
I don't know because
It's too fast for them.
Yep. Just that's it. Yeah, I think no too. Yeah, I've got a bit more concrete reasons, but I'm just...
Can't you?
well, I don't know because it's the same way how we feel like American football. We don't watch American football.
Well, we think we do for the
We only watch the Super
for
Bowl.
the Super Bowl, yeah. But
And
it's
the fully fledged, you can just go out for lunch on a Monday for like 3 hours and while you're working, that's totally fine.
Yeah.
watch a game.
What about it? Okay, as a sport, look, rugby union is there and it's terrible. I think their rugby sevens team is not the worst, which is like a more...
Apparently USA are hosting the Rugby World Cup.
So look,
down the line.
All is to say that, I mean, like I always got confused as to rugby union is a more free-flowing game version of league, right? So it has the bigger hits because you don't have the scrums and all that argy-bargy. But look, we had a conversation there, and I think what is going to be really challenging for any sport to make it in the US is, I was talking to you before this, but like if, what do you reckon is like, so the sports leagues, right? You have professional, semi-pro, and before that, like what do you think is bigger, like massive in American culture in terms of their sports leagues? As in the level,
as in like.
So you have professional, you have semi-pro, and then before that you have like school stuff.
Well, because it's meant to be usually a professional. That's where they find all the players.
It is, but college sports is huge in America.
True.
It's
like campus.
It's huge, right? So.
When you get their scholarship.
March Madness is almost as big or big as the NBA Finals, right? Grassroots NFL is insane. The amount of money there is more than Australian Rugby League players get there, which is all to say that if you want to get Americans to buy into there is no doubt there's a reason why American football, basketball, and baseball, soccer is an outlier here, but I would assume they have a grassroots version there.
Yeah.
Like are the top three, it's because they have grassroots participation. When you grow up and you're a quote and unquote athlete in an American school, this is a very easy grade matrix, right?
What a Venn diagram you want to say?
If you're 6'5" and above, you got to be a basketball player, right? Mm-hmm. If you're a track and field star, or like something like, unless you really want to go to the Olympics or the enhanced games, you want to play in the NFL, right? Mm-hmm. And if you like swinging bats and shit, you play baseball, okay? So I mean, actually, the baseball guys don't have to be uber athletic; they just got to have amazing hand-eye coordination, right? Yeah. So some of the guys, they're like cricketers, right there. So all is to say that. No one goes in saying, I want to play rugby. I want to play, you know what I mean? And I would venture to say the only reason, and we got to validate this because I'm surprised you're right that hockey isn't there as well. The only reason that soccer has jumped the queue because of the Messi effect, because of the Beckham effect. What Beckham did and what Messi did was single-handedly, they circumvented that, right? It's like a life support jump in. So they had massive star power. And the fact of the matter is, the only reason you'd say soccer worked is because soccer is the world game, right? Rugby league is not the world game, right? You can't pick that, right? So there's a lot of different ethnicities there, right? That, and then you have a function there. So that's why I just think it's going to be hard to go in there and sell, especially if your play is to go head on head against gridiron American football, because it's a different game, and Americans are fueled by like entertainment, right? Like the star power, the gravitas, and that's not to say that we don't have it.
It's a mixture of like the ability of someone, but it's also that you're right. Their star power, right? They have to have a sense of
followed.
The personality, charisma. All of that encapsulated into one, which like if you're then looking at footy on our side of things, half the time all the bloody stories are about like guys that are in a pub and they're like getting in a fisticuff or something like that, or like there's some sort of like drug or cheating scandal.
Listen.
Australia.
Patrick Mahomes, like one calling card is his ability to throw a football it's a very hard thing to do at skill, at pace, with accuracy of someone that's running.
People going at you and stuff like that,
Is that difficult? Fuck yeah, it's difficult. It's very specific, like range of motion and all that. But the only thing I say that is you could arguably say some of the tries that you see at NRL level where people are kicking and you have movement going on is arguably
Having to run through the entire
as
field.
skillful, if not as skillful. And then it just makes me say, what makes like a Tom Brady a superstar versus like a Reece Walsh, who is an A-tier athlete, and he's just as good. But what I'm saying is like they're brought in
American elitism.
no, they're brought in with them. But okay, forget about that. Let's talk about the advertising campaign. So we saw the advertising campaign. We had to shut it off because it featured our good old boy Russell Crowe. And you want to describe what little of you saw that we had to turn it off?
They tried to really amp up the game by explaining the rules. But they did that in a way that it was a tutorial base that you would get on your, like, you know, it's a training that you have to get when you first start a job, and you watch through this video, and then they have these things where it's like, oh, that's a 4 point. This you have to,
forward passes.
You have to put the pressure down, downward pressure on the ball and stuff. And it's just... No,
So,
that's not how you do it. That's not how you get the people going.
Yeah, so Russell Crowe is like, they're superimposing his voice. They're using him as a
He doesn't even sound like him. It may have been an AGI version of him that's like more polished or something. I don't know.
So yeah, like they were saying, it has no helmets, no pads, no timeouts, no blocking. Clearly the analogy to American football.
That's fine. That's probably the one poster you should have done. But then you should have done a sizzle reel of like the actual athleticism
Where is the sausage
that happens. All you needed was Tina Turner, R.I.P. again, rerun the Simply the Best campaign.
Better than all the rest.
Better than all the rest. That's what you need to do. Simple, effective advertising.
Okay, while you simmer down, like
American.
yeah, I think this is a real missed opportunity.
Yeah,
I think this is
fumbled.
a real.
They fumbled,
They
the
fumbled the
ball.
ball.
Literally.
Yes.
We saw it, and look, we agree that look, the first two games there, you're going to have a lot of people that don't understand the rules. Okay, cool. So, as a marketer, your first thing is to get bums on seats, right? So there's always going to be bums on seats because our hypothesis is even if there's not enough people there, the NRL is going to give free tickets. They have to. They're incentivized to make it look full, right? So that's number one. But if you want to make the game exciting, telling the rules, I'm sorry, is not going to make it exciting. You're right. It needed a sizzle reel. Where was the biff? There was so many.
Yeah,
like there was
you
so
could
many.
literally.
There was no biff.
What you could have done is this. It's like, this game has been here for the last whatever. This is me doing my Russell Crowe impression now, right? And then you do montage after montage of like from the 80s and like, you know, the State of Origin fighting and stuff like that.
The
And
biff.
it's like you could have literally Star Warsified the whole thing and be like, look where it's come from. And now you are now going to be a part of history as you join us on March the 2nd, because this is US time in Las Vegas.
And then they could have cut to Russell Crowe. Are you not entertained?
Yeah. We were talking about it. They literally could have TikTokified it, you know, with the green background.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he's like, this is, they're like, that's not a tackle. This is a tackle. Like,
if you wanted to go down the route of like comparing
we can't take ourselves seriously as Australians in the world. We have made our way through arguably by being the tokenistic, shrimp on the barbie, cool fun loving guy or gal. Like,
You know
that's
what?
how you do it.
They should have done that.
That's how the
should have
Americans
actually done
see
that.
us.
They should have-
It's not that
Just lean
hard.
into it.
Can I give you the first frame? You
Here we
got
What, tumbleweed? Like
no,
Mad
no.
Max style? Because that's what I
you
was
got
thinking.
Crocodile Dundee, yeah, with a shrimp on the barbie.
Yeah.
And then someone tackles him.
Yeah, it's like jumping the shark, but then it's
Someone-
like you get like who's a really good player that tackles people these days? I don't know. All I think of is Willie Mason, and that doesn't even make sense.
He's been long out.
He was also
Fan House can tackle.
Yeah, it's
Patrick
like
Carrigan can tackle.
Yeah.
The boys can all tackle. But yeah, look, I agree. And like we said that, look, you know, Australians want to do it their way. They want to talk about the integrity of the sports. Bullshit. You want to make it in America. You want the American viewership. You want the money. We missed a chance at the advertising.
you got to sell your soul a
We
bit.
missed a chance with the advertising. And why wasn't it in Times Square? You mean to say we could not afford a slot in fucking Times Square? How is, like, I did not see that. Like, that.
I think they just went straight to Vegas. I'm pretty sure they just they
look,
I remember seeing the players walking through. I do remember seeing didn't they watch a
they
basketball
did, but
game?
yes, it was.
like,
Yeah. But that's what I mean. Like, there was a lot of opportunity, and here's the other thing that I think that they just got wrong. Right. The beginning of the season, cool, tick tick. What is the best rugby league game in the year? It's very easy.
Origin.
Yes, it's Origin, right? Origin. So I think that
I'm
firstly,
not under duress as I say that. Okay?
like your best game is not going to be the first game of the season. They're going to be rusty. They were talking, you know what I mean? You're not going to arguably have your best thing. If you want to showcase the best version of the game,
Origin.
would you not want to put Origin there? And if people see that, wow, these guys are like on roids, just letting you know this is the All-Star game. Like, just talk their language. This is the All-Star game.
This is East versus West. This is, you
just
know.
to put it in your language that's there. Arguably, it's in the middle of the year. Everyone, if you tell the Australian players that the final is in Vegas for All-Star game, or even make it the final. Why don't you make it the final? I know it's a bit weird.
Well, it's a bit too late then.
Well,
you
but
know.
what I mean is,
if you're going for the next one,
I guess what I mean is, like, it almost felt like this was an afterthought. If we were serious about this,
maybe it's too cluttered with other sports. What happens?
I've no doubt there is, but I guess what I'm saying is, like, when I think about this as a genuine opportunity, I felt like it was rushed. The advertising makes it feel like it was rushed. The planning makes it feel like it was rushed. I think there were different ways that you could do this to really build up steam and momentum, to make it a big deal for Australian players, which it was for the ones that got picked, and to make it a big deal for like the overall sort of public. I don't know. That's just my view.
Look, you gave it a red hot go.
You know, who are we to know? Maybe they'll increase their viewership after this at the end of it.
Like, potentially, but
guys, NRL, if you want, like, you know, some marketing consultation, just
We had some live pitches just now. Like, get on it.
get it in.
what you call it, appropriating ideas is not stealing. It's just, you know, using
No, it's just talking to the target market.
using what works, you know. And
Anyway, let's just get over this before I get angry. I'm gonna watch this film now.
That got heated, guys.
oh, it did.
Very good, very good. We'll
Did it
see.
not?
We'll see how those games go. See how it gets
You know, the
received.
sports and
Back to
the,
bid.
you know,
Sports.
what will be great to see down the track is the line of questioning, I reckon, that
Sports.
some of the people have about the game. And it's just, you know,
Yeah.
It's like, what
one
do you,
tweet, I'm pretty sure it was a parody. It said this thing is like, oh, so, you know, the Yanks are seeing now the blood, like there's some gushers in the first game of Eagles versus the Rabbitohs, which I feel really gross saying about now. But anyway, and then it's this best SpongeBob impression of, you know, that's why you wear helmets.
Yeah, right. That is why I wear helmets.
says the country that, like, you know, it's brought UFC and whatnot. But anyway.